Greetings, my
Hey sister, how you doing? Did you know that you're beautiful, beautiful? Hey sister, there ain't no choosing. Did you know that you're beautiful, beautiful?
Greetings, Salaam alaikum, namaste, etc. Bawani, and the list goes on. My name is Teish, and you are here on the Eyeame channel. Welcome to our Women's International Month series, a series created to enjoy, exalt, and uplift womanhood. So the second part of this series is book recommendations. You don't know how much I love my books. I didn't know how much books I had up there. I had no idea whatsoever. So this kind of put things into perspective. I have specifically chosen a collection of books that have assisted me in my womanhood, in my journey. It's assisted me in, understanding different variations of womanhood and how to define what womanhood means to me. What type of woman do I want to show up in the world? And inshallah, it can assist you too, sisters. So, first we have Miss Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I actually think I'm going to add like a little sub-story to it. So here is the book. It is Dear Ijeawele, I hope I've not mispronounced that, or a Feminist Manifesto in 15 Suggestions. So this book, I first became familiar with this author when I was 19 and I had went to Jamaica for a couple of weeks to spend time with my grandma. Her good friend gave me Americana, and the love story began. Years ago, maybe, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, two of my beautiful Nigerian sisters and I went to this International Woman Month event in South Bank, and we got to meet her in real life. Guys. Oh, my heart is beating so fast. That woman is even more beautiful in real life. And what's more, my book is even signed by her. When I was going up to speak to her, I thought I'm going to do something really intelligent. I'm going to let her know that I'm poised and that I'm, something that nobody else is going to say. But as I got closer and closer, honestly, her essence left me rendered speechless, and all I think I said was, "Hi auntie, I love your work." So anyway, this book is phenomenal. It's simple, it's easy to read, it's easy to understand. Even if you don't want to raise your children as feminists, although by definition I don't see why you wouldn't, it's a delightful read. One of the main things that it taught me is don't teach your daughters to be nice. Teach them to be kind. For example, let's just use the 8th suggestion. Teach her to reject likability. Her job is not to make herself likable. Her job is to be her full self, a self that is honest and aware of the equal humanity of other people. Sisters, please buy this book. I highly recommend it. It helped me in the sense of when I become a mum, there are certain things that I can look back and think, those are things that I want to take, and those things I think will let slide. So definitely recommend this. The next one we have is it's Maya Angelou, and you obviously know how much I admire her. She's a permanent fixture in my room. Oh my god, I absolutely love all of her work, all of her interviews. Any capsule, any essence that I can get of her existence is something I truly treasure. This is one of the books, Letter to My Daughter, and then we also have A Rainbow in the Cloud and Wouldn't Take Nothing for My Journey Now. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I can't recall what's being said here. All I recall is the feeling, which is actually a quote by Miss Angelou herself. I'm gonna try and find it and put it somewhere. I remember feeling wiser, feeling stronger, and also having these like innate or realizations in my early 20s, and then this book like solidifying them and confirming them and agreeing and like co-signing them essentially. But what I think I'm going to do is actually read them all again, just to get a refresher. So the next books we have are Miss Iyanla Vanzant. Let's first talk about this book, Faith in the Valley, which I kid you you not, guys, I started reading when I was 6, and it said, and I remember I was at my auntie's house in Graham Park, and I read that the book said crying is a way to filter out negative emotions and allow for you to take a deep breath and realize the reality, the truth of it all. So this book here is so powerful. But the one that I really want to highlight, actually no, this book my mum bought for me in the 23rd of September 2013 to my star Nakelia Reid, Baby Girl. I love these little things, you know, little additions, just personalizes it. I've not read this, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm sure it has a lot of meaningful content. I really want to highlight this book, Peace from Broken Pieces. Sisters, this book is fundamental to my healing process, especially when I was like 18, 19. I've read this book, let me put it up. I've read this book 4 times, and each time like a different book. It helped me to get over someone, it helped me deal with my mum, with my dad, with myself. The biggest lesson I learned from this, I'd say, is the concept of pathology. So whenever we think about, you know, sickness carrying through our blood, we think of, you know, do you have traits for breast cancer? Do you have the sickle cell trait? Do you have are you predisposed according to your genes? However, we also can carry behavioral practices that are not good through our blood. For example, making bad decisions with men. Your great-grandmother could have done it, your grandmother could do it, your mum could do it, and it now is with you. You hold the decision to adjust that, to realign the amino acids in that double helix of DNA and take and extract that negativity out so that your children don't have to carry on the negative pathology. So this book I highly, highly recommend. It's constantly adapting and changing for the environment or the situation that you're in. Okay, I'm going to briefly touch on this book because I actually plan on doing a whole completely different book review and video with this. But Jambalaya has been the most recent book I've read, and yeah, it really catapulted my confidence in being a spiritual woman and celebrating that. So the next books for International Women's Month are books that I have recommended before, but I think they are so essential in creating a foundation for a holistic, natural, herbal infused version of womanhood, and they are by Queen Afua. We have Sacred Woman, look at the art, oh my goodness, beautiful. Sacred Woman, a guide to healing the feminine body, mind and spirit. I have not completed this book, I've not gone through the gateways yet, but the herbal teas, the juices, the yoga positions, the dances, the reviews, the poems, like when I do complete this book, I know it's going to be life-changing. The book I have read is Overcoming an Angry Vagina. I've read this book a few times. Overcoming an Angry Vagina was like an ashay into becoming celibate. Whilst we're on this topic, I recently had a conversation with one of my sister friends. I do not want to come off holier than thou. That's not it at all. I am an extremist when it comes to sexuality, and I know at that time how I was navigating, it was not sustainable, it was not endurable, and it was going to negatively impact the type of woman that I wanted to blossom and become. And that's one of the main reasons actually I decided to become celibate, maybe like the second main reason. I'm going to read you an excerpt. I wish I could read the whole paragraph, but I'll just get a sentence or two. While on the journey of my sacred woman training, I noticed I was becoming illuminated and attracting suitors like bees to honey. Keeping my womb sacred was challenging. Men saw the divine in me, started to call me goddess and queen, and I will leave it there. Now for the final delightful, magnificent book. I've mentioned it before, Assata Shakur's Autobiography. Funnily enough, the book, see, balance. The book that I had to read for the fourth time because of a guy, it was him that recommended this book to me. Yin and yang, I'm telling you. This book here, I cannot explain it. Miss Assata is fearless. She's fierce. She is a freedom fighter. I cannot review this book positively enough. I'm going to add some reviews below. The two things I do want to highlight, however, is in the beginning of the book, she had been shot in the arm, and so she had become hospitalized. There were police in her hospital room badding her up, saying they're gonna shoot her, using all these racial slurs. And you know, in the time when most people would shit themselves, Miss Assata Shakur said she was tired and so she went to sleep. Every single page, there's our portions where it's quite statistics and quite, you know, datey and enumerative, but if you can push through, oh my gosh, you are gonna become fearless. This book taught me, even when things are hard, to activate that warrior, that mama oya, that gangster. Like, she's so powerful, she's so revolutionary. She was fighting for something and didn't stop and didn't deter and kept on making her way to her final destination. One of my favorite pages that I read over and over and over again in my brain is, so basically her daughter comes to visit her in prison and she kind of has a go at her. She's like, you want to be here, you're choosing to be here, you could make an alternative decision but you actively choose not to. So after being so hurt by what her little baby girl had said to her, it says here, she waved goodbye to me, her face clouded and worried, looking like a little adult. I go back to my cage and cry until I vomit. I decide it is time to leave. Oh, God. Each time I read that, she decided that she was leaving prison, and the next chapter is about her being in Cuba. She did it. Like, honestly, it was a pivotal moment reading this book. I absolutely love that book. Actually, I love all of these books. These books have been my mother's, my aunties, my grandmothers, my ancestors. They are all a variety of different women from different educational backgrounds, socio-economic groups, shades, but they have assisted me in my womanhood, and I am offering them to you. Bless up, take care, and remember, Iyeame in everything.